We are on the record.
Case D 506478, Cassandra and Seth Gutierrez. Let's have you both sworn in.
Please raise your right hands. Do you and each of you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You may be seated. I have a procedural matter. Mr. Gutierrez, have you submitted a proper order to show cause listing the 15 acts of contempt that you're seeking?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay,
Well, actually, I haven't.
I think you submitted it. It was rejected because it wasn't specific enough or detailed enough. So you're supposed to redo it.
Yes,
We
Your Honor.
can't do this trial unless you have a proper order show cause filed, and then Mom would have to be personally served. The only problem is, if you do not have this order show cause that is the subject of this trial, Mom might be arguing due process because she doesn't know what she's supposed to defend today. Do you know what the 15 contempts are? Probably originally what was in his motion, but he did not convert that to an order to show cause, or at least timely submit one. But you're prepared to go to trial today? You should have been aware because it was in his motion.
I am.
Okay. I'm just looking for that show cause so that we can get that filed and have her served. Let me check to see.
Your Honor, I do not have it.
You don't have it?
I have one represented in the evidentiary
Okay.
hearing brief.
I'm very limited on time. Will you get that to the court before the trial is sent for decision?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So we'll proceed. Seth is the moving party. He's filed a show cause, and it's his burden to establish by clear and convincing evidence that there was willful and deliberate conduct of violation of a court order. Mom will defend those issues, get on the witness stand. How many witnesses do we have on either side?
None.
Okay, it's just the parties?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then how about trial exhibits or notebooks? I usually prefer 4 sets.
I prepared 3 sets, one for me, one for the court, and one for the
3 will work, we'll share. Because you guys are representing yourself, if you're okay, you can just testify from counsel's table, unless your preference is to actually have them sit on the witness stand, because these cameras are voice activated. So, but you're allowed to take your notes with you. That's why I let them testify from counsel's table, because all their stuff's spread out on the desk. Okay, so let's have Mom and served with the trial notebook. And we'll get a trial notebook, and then he'll proceed with the questioning.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Okay. Mom, do you have trial exhibit notebooks? You don't have any exhibits?
I have, the only thing I have is a copy of what I spend month to month.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right. Just hang on to that. We'll just wait for the dad here to give us his trial notebook, and then we may proceed. Are we going to dispense with opening statements?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll just save it all for closing arguments.
All right. Your Honor,
Martin,
you present
okay.
the court order.
One for Mom and one for the court, and then we can proceed.
Your Honor, I also have complete records, as I indicated in my evidentiary brief, during the time period from talking to parents to submit as a court record. However,
Yes.
what I've done in the trial notebook is I've broken it out specifically by number for each to correspond with the items in the evidentiary brief for ease of use.
Oh, good. Okay, so but you want to submit that original as evidence for the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mom, you would have access to that because it's the talking parents log. All right, and would that be given another? That would be part of what number or letter exhibit? Since you have sort of a
Aye.
is it the next letter I?
Yes.
Okay. He used numbers.
Yes.
Okay, so you're actually A B C D E F G H I. Okay. Any other procedural matters?
No, Your Honor, I guess we can just, I'm going to use the evidentiary hearing brief as a reference point to go act by act, starting with Act 1.
Okay, have you served Mom with the hearing brief?
I have, Your Honor. And I have another copy if she doesn't have a copy of it here.
Do you have a copy, Cassandra? It's just go ahead and grab, yeah, I've got yours, it's 7 pages.
Yes, Your Honor.
Actually, I have a copy here too, they printed it out. I presume you wanna call Mom first as a witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you get Mom's pretrial memo also?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, you may be seated, and you can stay seated for questioning, direct examination. Court may ask a few questions, write it down if you have anything you want to respond to, and he doesn't give you the opportunity to respond. I'm sure I will give you the opportunity. But Seth's going to ask you a few questions on direct examination. I may follow up, and then anything else that you might want to say in terms of your testimony. And then he can either call himself as a witness, and then Mom can call either herself or you on presenting her case, and then I'm just going to rule on these issues. I presume neither of you approached each other to try and narrow down these issues or settle these matters, so these are going to be either clear-cut contempts or no contempts, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Then we will proceed. So both of you understand you've been sworn in, and that we don't need to swear you guys in again.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Cassandra, just for the record, you state your full name for the record.
Cassandra Gutierrez.
And Cassandra, you are on Grass Creek Avenue.
No,
Oh.
when I had this paperwork filed,
They used
I used a paralegal,
Oh, okay.
and at that time, my license didn't have the correct address on it, but I gave him the correct address. He
Oh,
just
okay.
put the wrong address on there.
What do we have on record, Miss Clerk? For Mom. You, Janisa Point?
Yes,
Okay.
Genesee Point. Yes.
Okay, so that's current in our
That's
court system.
correct.
That's all I need to get on the record, and now Seth's gonna ask you questions, and I will take notes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, Cassandra, and I apologize, I'm gonna use first name since we both share the same last name for clarification on the record.
Okay, is that okay with you?
Yes.
So Cassandra and Seth.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, so Cassandra, is it true that that in October of 2018, that you met with Bella and Lincoln's elementary school teachers
Yes,
for a parent-teacher conference?
yes,
And is it also true that you did not inform Seth of the date and time of the meeting to allow for his presence and participation?
we had a talking parents, and I said that I would meet with the teachers separately, because, him and his wife take over the whole meeting.
Again, Your Honor, objection, non-responsive.
Hostile witness, so, if he's going to ask you to respond with a yes, no, you can respond yes, no, I don't know, or Judge, I will respond yes or no, I can neither respond yes or no, and I'd like to offer clarification later, and then write it down, and then we can get back to it. It's how they ask you the questions and how they want you to answer the questions. So,
I'll ask it again.
yes, he's allowed to ask you leading questions, due to, this theory of hostile witness and stuff like that. But go ahead, you're permitted to, counsel.
Thank you. Cassandra, is it true that you did not inform Seth of the date and time of the meeting?
Yes,
Okay. And is it also true that you did not provide any notification of the date and time in writing of the meeting?
I'm not sure how to answer that question, Judge.
If I
Okay.
could, Your Honor, at this point in time, I'd like to reference exhibit, in the binder that I provided, the exhibit listed under tab 1.
Okay, so Mom, you'll have to follow along.
That'll be letter A.
Actually, we're gonna call you A, your letters defendant. And at least, you got some fake stamp numbers here, in some little bit of order, okay? Exhibit 1. By the way, all talking parents messages, neither of you have an objection to that coming into evidence, because that's a court-approved app.
None from Seth, Your Honor.
And
That's correct.
no objection, okay, so, that's, any talking parents is coming into evidence, and we'll follow along here. Okay, are you there, Cassandra?
Exhibit 1 is admitted?
Yeah.
Correct? Yes.
Exhibit
tab-
1 and
tab
all
one.
talking parents messages. In fact, it's pretty much his book. It's, yeah, okay.
All of them?
I think it's all talking parents, yeah. All his exhibits are admitted because they're all talking parent stuff. Okay, everything's in. We're on page 1,
Tab 1,
Oh.
which is Exhibit A,
Exhibit A.
okay? At the bottom, and I've highlighted for all parties through the binder, the relevant email stream, beginning with Kesterson Parent-Teacher Conferences at the bottom of that first page, page 140. And if you
140
flip-
of 452, okay?
So if you flip to page 141, the next page, I want to draw your attention, Cassandra, down to the last 2 written posts beginning on October 28th, where your response is that you will have the meeting on your own. Is that correct? Is that your response?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever provide the date or time of that meeting that you're going to have with the teachers in writing?
No.
No? Okay. And did you ever provide, after that meeting, any written or otherwise communicated information regarding what was discussed at that meeting?
No.
Okay. No further questions regarding first act of contempt, Your Honor?
Just going to have, teachers. Okay,
Moving on to the second act of contempt, item 2 on the pretrial, the evidentiary hearing brief. Cassandra, was Lincoln invited to a birthday party on February 6, 2018? And for clarity, for all purposes, for all parties, I'll be referencing tab 2, which I'm assuming is going to be Exhibit B,
correct,
and I've highlighted the relevant email string.
good.
I don't know which party he's talking about, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Can you please reference tab 2 of the binder? This is Exhibit B. I've highlighted the relevant email. I'll let you review that briefly before I re-ask the question.
Yes, he was invited and I let
Okay,
him know.
just so that we're clear. All right, so Cassandra, was Lincoln invited to a birthday party on February 6, 2018?
Yes,
And you received that invitation on February 6, 2018, correct?
I don't know what date that was, that I received the invitation, Your Honor.
Would you agree that you attached a file on the date of February 9th, 2019 at 7:06 a.m. in which the attached file contained a copy of that invitation?
Yes.
Okay. Are you contesting that the invitation was issued to you on February 6, 2018?
I received it on the Wednesday that was therapy.
Let the record reflect that that Wednesday prior to February 9th is in fact February 6th.
February 9th, I'll take judicial notice, February 9th was a Saturday. Okay, and the 6th was a Wednesday, duly noted.
So Cassandra, are you able to confirm that you did receive that invitation on February 6th of 2018?
Actually, Wednesday is the 7th. It's 2018 or 2019?
I'm sorry, 2019.
Oh.
is it also true that you did not provide Seth sufficient notice prior to the event so that he could participate?
No, I provided you notice
When did you actually provide the notice?
on Saturday in the morning.
So the date of the party, February 9th, 2019, at 7:06 a.m., you provided notice of the party,
Yes,
and the date and time of that party was February 9th, 2019, at 11 o'clock in the morning?
oh, I don't know, I don't have the invitation.
I'm not able to view the JPG photo, JPEG photo.
Oh, would you agree the party was the same day that you notified Seth?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so.
Would you also agree that would you agree that when Seth, in his response, identified that you only provided notification 4 hours prior to the event, you did not contest the notification?
I'm not sure what the length of time was, Your Honor.
I'm just asking whether,
I provided the information at 7 in the morning.
and if you'll turn over
Okay.
to the second page of the Exhibit B, the first emailed response dated 7:58 that same morning. Is that correct? The response is 7:58 the same morning?
Yes.
Did you contest the Seth's representations that you provided notice only 4 hours prior to the event?
I don't know what time the party was at.
I'm asking, did you contest Seth's representations that you provided notice only 4 hours prior to the event?
I answered your question, sir. I said I provided it at 7 in the morning. I'm not sure what time the party was at.
Your Honor, please note that the witness refuses to answer the question.
Is that an objection?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm objecting. The witness is refusing to answer the question.
Okay, I'll direct the witness. Either the way he asked the questions, it's probably going to be a yes, no, I don't know, or unable to answer, not enough information. And then,
Unable to.
based on what you answer, well, we'll be able to determine your, I weigh on people's credibilities and all that. Okay, so, what was the last question? You're saying it was, oh, you objected it was non-responsive, so what was the question again?
Cassandra, did you contest Seth's representation that the notification he received was only 4 hours prior to the event?
Unable to answer, Judge. I don't remember what time the party
Okay.
You don't recall if it was exactly 4 hours, so you can't say yes or no. Okay.
But my question was simply, did you contest what, Seth's representations of the notice?
I don't understand what that means.
Witness doesn't answer the question,
Okay.
understand the question?
I'll move on, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
What's today, February, July 25? Okay.
Was it also your position that you only had to provide notice? It didn't matter when you provided that notice?
I said, I sent you the information. That is what I'm required to do. That's what I said in the email.
Okay. I think that's sufficient for me to go ahead and argue on the second
Okay.
act of contempt. Your Honor, I'm gonna move to the third act of contempt at the bottom of page 2, and the top of page 3 of my evidentiary hearing brief, Your Honor.
Okay.
And again, this, I'll be referencing, am I, for the court, am I doing it correctly when I reference tab, each subsequent tab is a new letter in the alphabet?
Yes.
exhibit? Okay.
It's sequential.
All right, so I'm gonna now reference tab 3, which is, exhibit C.
Officially gonna be Exhibit C, yeah.
Okay. Cassandra, is it true that you received notification of a PTA membership meeting
STA membership.
Okay. Is it true that you did not go ahead and provide a copy of that notice to Seth prior to that meeting? If you need to reference Exhibit C in your responses to the email post therein for recollection.
Your Honor, it was in one of my kids' folders, our kids' folders, either Lincoln or Bella's, I'm not quite sure. And I just put it on the table, on their table. And I didn't look at it again.
So you're conceding that you received the notice prior to the meeting, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Did you provide that notice to Seth prior to the meeting?
No, I
Okay.
didn't.
No further questions regarding Act 3, Your Honor. I'm going to move on to Act 4. Referencing tab 4 of the binder, which is Exhibit D.
D, okay.
Cassandra, is it true that Bella was invited to a birthday party that is scheduled to be held on Saturday, November 3rd, 2018? Tab 4.
Yes, Bella was invited to a party,
And that party was Saturday, November 3rd, 2018?
yes.
Okay. And is it also true that you did not advise Seth of the location or the time of the party?
I'm not sure how to answer this, Your Honor.
I would submit truthfully.
That's why Judge Moss told me if I'm not sure how to answer something, I can say that.
Okay, maybe I'll rephrase the question, okay? All right, did Seth inquire as to the date, as to the location and the time of the party?
Yes, Bella told you about the party.
Did Seth inquire of Cassandra of the date, of the location and the time of the party?
Yes,
Okay, did you provide Seth the date and time of, the location and time of the party?
yes, I did. After
Can you please-
asked about it.
How did you provide that notice?
By text, but I can't find the text. I looked for it.
Will you, do you contest that you provided nothing on Talking Parents relative to the time and location of the party?
Yes, it was not on Talking Parents.
Okay. All right. Would you also admit that you never responded to any of Seth's comments on Talking Parents referencing the birthday party?
Yes, I did not answer
Okay.
the message on the Talking Parents.
You're speaking so loud, I may have to make you sit there because the microphone's much more responsive over there. I'm gonna ask you to speak up. Martin, maybe you can move that microphone closer to her. I'm not able to make out most of the words she's saying because she's talking in a very low voice. If you could ask that last question again, Mr. Gutierrez,
Certainly.
I can hear her response. That might work a little better. Okay. We're still on the birthday party?
Certainly, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'll restate the question. Cassandra, did you provide any responses to Seth's inquiries regarding the location and time of the birthday party on Talking Parents?
Not on Talking Parents, Your Honor. The answer is no.
All right, I think that's enough for fourth act, Your Honor. I'm gonna move on to the fifth act, which is, it coincides with tab 5, which is Exhibit E. Cassandra, based on your review of the email chain that's highlighted on Exhibit E in front of you, did Seth send an email to you on November 1st, 2018 at 5:23 p.m. regarding a school event for Bella and Lincoln?
Yes, you did.
Okay, and in that message, did Seth ask you to confirm any information regarding that function?
Yes, you did.
Now, the message was sent to you at 5:23 p.m. on November 1st, correct?
Yes.
And you viewed the post, the message, at 8:08 p.m. that same evening, correct?
That is correct.
Did you provide any response to that message that evening?
No, I did not.
Okay. And specifically, did Seth send a follow-up message regarding what took place the next day at that social event?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay. And did you contest any of the allegations or statements that he made in that post?
No, I decided not to because I was not allowed to have muffins
Objection,
with Mom the
non-responsive.
day
She can
before.
explain during her time, Your Honor.
Okay, the question called for,
No, I did not.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you wanna probably write that down, you wanna
Okay.
explain that later?
Okay, thank you.
I'll ask a couple follow-up for clarification later, but, did Seth send a text message the morning of that event to your phone at approximately 8:15 in the morning?
I don't know what time it was, but you did send a text that morning, yes.
And did Seth also send you a text the previous evening at approximately 7:45?
That I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Okay. And is it true that you did not respond until 8:22 a.m. the morning of the event?
That's possible. I don't have the email or the text in front of me, but that's very possible.
Would you confirm, would you agree that the event in question was scheduled to be between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. the morning of Friday, November 2nd?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions on the fifth act, Your Honor.
Okay,
Moving on to sixth act of contempt, coincides with tab 6, which is Exhibit F for the court. Cassandra, did Seth send a message to you on July 30th, 2018 regarding, entitled FaceTime Interruptions?
Are you talking about 7:30 at 10 a.m.?
If I can draw your attention to the bottom of page 153 on Exhibit F, did Seth send a message on Talking Parents entitled FaceTime Interruptions on July 30th, 2018?
Yes.
Okay. Did you contest the allegations made by Seth in that email?
No, Your Honor, I didn't.
Okay. And the allegation in that email is that you denied Seth his 30 minutes of FaceTime with the children on the court order scheduled time frame between 6:30 p.m. and 7 on a Thursday, correct?
This is what you're saying?
Correct.
Yes, this is what you're saying.
Okay. And you did not go ahead, and you did not provide an email response denying those allegations?
No, I did not.
Okay. That's it for Act 6, Your Honor. I'm gonna move on to 7th Act of Contempt, referencing tab 7, which is Exhibit G. Cassandra, did Seth send a message on Talking Parents entitled Failure to Comply with Court-Ordered Exchange Requirements on 7/30/2018? Again, I'll ask you to reference Exhibit G. Did Seth send an email on Talking Parents?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. And in that email, did Seth allege that you failed to drop off the children at the designated location at the appropriate time?
Yes.
Okay. And is it also true that this drop-off time was outside that ordered by the courts?
Yes.
And is it also true that you did not notify Seth of the individual prior to who would be dropping the children off?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't remember this event. I don't even know who dropped them off.
I think you need to
don't-
answer, this is a trial, ma'am. You need to answer his questions as best you can. Make a note of it, and then you can respond later.
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware that that's in violation of the orders by this court?
Yes.
Okay, no further questions on 7th Act of Contempt, Your Honor. Moving on to Act 8, referencing tab 8, which is Exhibit H. Cassandra, is it true that Seth sent a message on Talking Parents on March 23rd, 2018, entitled Court Ordered FaceTime Session Denied?
Yes.
Okay. And is it also true that you never responded to Seth's message?
Can you repeat that question, please?
Is it also true you did not respond to that message?
Yes.
Okay. Is it also true that you never even opened the message to even view it?
Yes.
Okay. And is it true, is it true that you denied the FaceTime visit on the date and time referenced in the message?
I don't remember. I can't answer it if I don't remember. I don't remember.
Okay. No further questions regarding Act 8, Your Honor.
Okay.
Moving on to Act 9, which coincides with Tab 9, Exhibit I. Cassandra, did Seth send a message on Talking Parents on October 29, 2018, entitled Missing Math Test for Bella?
Yes.
Okay. Did Bella in fact miss a math test?
Yes.
Okay. And did Seth ask you, and isn't it true that Seth asked you why she missed the math test?
Yes.
Okay. And isn't it also true that you never answered specifically why she missed the math test?
Not on Talking Parents, I didn't answer it, yes. That is true.
No further questions reference 9th Act of Contempt, Your Honor. Moving on to 10th Act of Contempt, referencing tab 10, which is Exhibit J in the binder. Cassandra, is it true that Seth sent a message through Talking Parents on December 18, 2018, entitled Progress Report for Bella?
Yes.
Okay. And is it also true that you received a progress report for Bella?
Yes.
And is it also true that you never provided a copy of that report to Seth?
Yes.
No further questions regarding Act 10, Your Honor. Moving on to Act 11, referencing tab 11, which coincides with Exhibit K. Cassandra, is it true that Seth's, that there is a message on Talking Parents referenced on Exhibit K titled Dermatologist?
Yes.
Drawing your attention to the first message on under that email stream, did you send the first message?
No?
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 Your Honor, I'd like the court to take judicial notice that the message was sent by Cassandra on October 4th, 2018 to Seth, and that Seth viewed the subject message on October 4th, 2018.
I don't need to take judicial notice. The matter is entered into evidence, and I just give it whatever weight, but that's what it does say in the message.
Okay. Cassandra, can you advise the court whether or not you notified Seth in that email of a follow-up dermatology appointment?
Yes.
Okay, so you advised Seth that there would be a follow-up dermatology appointment on November 15th at 3 p.m.?
That is correct.
At this point in time, having reviewed that, would you admit that you sent this email to Seth?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to page 58, second page of Exhibit K at the top. Referencing Seth's response, Cassandra, is it not true that you failed to take Lincoln to that November 15th dermatology appointment?
Yes.
Okay. Is it also true that you did not notify Seth that you did not arrive for that appointment?
Yes.
Is it also true that you did not reschedule the appointment?
Yes.
Okay. And is it also true that your reasoning in response to why you missed the appointment was because the dermatologist did not send you a reminder?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And just to clarify, you did not notify Seth that you missed the appointment?
Yes, because I forgot.
Is that a yes you did, or yes you did
No,
not?
yes, I did not.
Okay. No further questions regarding the 11th Act, Your Honor. Moving on to Act 12, which corresponds to tab 12, which is Exhibit L. Cassandra, is it true that on May 21st, 2018, Seth sent a message on Talking Parents entitled Denial of Communication with Bella and Lincoln?
Yes.
Okay, and in that email, is it true that Seth alleged that you denied Bella and Lincoln the opportunity to have FaceTime communication with him outside of the Thursday 6:30 to 7 p.m. time frame?
That is correct, yes.
Did you contest, and is it also true that you did not deny that allegation?
No, I did not deny it.
Okay. And is it also true that you did in fact deny them the ability to FaceTime outside of the Thursday 6:30 to 7 p.m. time frame?
They're allowed to call during that time. Yes.
Yes, you did deny it outside that time frame?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions with regards to 12th Act of Contempt, Your Honor. Referencing tab 13, which is Exhibit M in the booklet. Cassandra, is it true that on September 12, 2018, Seth sent you a message on Talking Parents entitled Out-of-Pocket Medical Expense Accounting Report?
Yes.
And is it also true that this accounting report detailed and outlined all prior out-of-pocket medical expense reimbursements that had been requested?
Yes.
And is it also true that you viewed this subject?
Yes.
And is it also true that you never responded to the subject?
Yes.
And is it also true that you've never responded to requests for out-of-pocket medical expense reimbursement on Talking Parents?
I don't know.
No further questions regarding Act 13, Your Honor. Moving on to Act 14, which corresponds to tab 14, Exhibit N. Cassandra, is it true that on September 11, 2018, Seth sent a message over Talking Parents entitled Therapy/Counseling Appointment, Saturday, September 8, 2018?
Yes.
Okay. And it is also true that Seth alleged that you had an appointment with Bella's therapist on September 8, 2018?
Yes.
And did you in fact have an appointment with the therapist on September 8, 2018?
Yes.
And is it also true that you did not notify Seth of the appointment?
Yes.
And is it also true that that you neither provided any response or information regarding what was discussed at the appointment?
Yes.
And in fact, you actually provided no response whatsoever to Seth's inquiry?
That is correct.
No further questions with regards to Act 14, Your Honor. Moving on to Act 15, which coincides with tab 15, Exhibit O in the binder. Cassandra, is it true that on April 3rd, 2018, Seth sent a message on Talking Parents entitled Shaving Bella's Underarms?
Yes.
Okay. And is it also true that you did in fact shave Bella's legs and underarms?
Yes.
And is it also true that you did not provide notification to Seth prior to the act of shaving?
That is correct.
And you did not allow Seth the opportunity or ability to contest the act of shaving before you committed the act,
Yes,
okay? And is it also true that when Seth raised the issue on Talking Parents, you refused to respond?
yes.
Okay, now, briefly, can you confirm that you've been handed a copy of the stipulation order modifying parenting agreement that's already on file with the court and was filed on July 31st, 2017?
I'm sorry?
Can you also confirm that you received today in court a copy of the stipulation and order modifying parenting agreement that was filed with the court on July 31st, 2017?
It might be in the inside of your notebook,
Oh.
in the inside cover.
I actually provided it to her loosely, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I have
Okay.
it right here, Your Honor.
What's the file date, counsel?
July 31st, 2017, Your Honor.
Okay, I got that one in front of me. Okay.
Cassandra, can you please turn to,
Because this is an actual court pleading, I do mark them as exhibits. Some judges are different, but just so I keep record, then all copies are in one place. So you just want to give this a next letter?
please, Your Honor?
And Cassandra, you don't have any objection to this coming into evidence?
No.
Okay, we'll put this a sticker.
Which letter would that be, Your Honor?
Next letter?
J?
No,
That
I
would be
think
what,
no.
P? I believe it's
Probably
P.
P. Hang on, let me give my clerk the book, and she'll count out the letters. And she'll give me the correct letter for that one. So stipend order, filed July 31st.
Q.
July 31st,
You have what?
2017. Q?
Am I off then? Because my 15th act of contempt reference in tab 15 I had as O. Am I off?
15 is O.
So this one will be P?
P is the talking parents, is that
Oh,
correct?
okay, I apologize.
Oh, okay.
So Q.
Exhibit,
I
Q.
didn't see those.
oh.
And just for convenience of the court right now, I'll ask that the stipulated decree of divorce that's previously been on file with the court, and a copy has been provided to the court and Cassandra today,
Yes.
be entered as Exhibit R.
Which is, what date is that one?
This was electronically filed on March 19, 2015,
The 3/19/15?
entitled Stipulated Decree of Divorce.
They were all on the inside there. Get that one. 3/9/15 stipulated decree divorce. Can you confirm? 3/9/15. That will be R. No objection to your divorce decree, right?
No.
Oh, okay, so that'd be
And-
admitted. 3/9/15 decree of divorce.
And then I also provided the court and all parties a copy of the order regarding hearing on February 21st, 2017, which was electronically filed April 19th, 2017.
4/19/17. Any objection, Mom?
No.
Okay,
fine.
that's the 4/19/17 order. Okay, got it.
And that'll be marked and entered as Exhibit
Yes,
S.
yeah.
Thank you. All right, Cassandra. Going back to Exhibit Q, which is the
Okay, here,
stipulation and
February
order
21.
modifying parenting agreement. Do you recognize this agreement?
Yes.
Did you, in fact,
Yeah.
cooperate with Seth in drafting this supplemental agreement to the parenting agreement contained in the stipulated decree of divorce?
Your Honor, I'm not sure how to answer that.
Okay.
Let me ask a different question. Cassandra, on page 12 of this document, Exhibit Q entitled Stipulation and Order Modifying Parenting Agreement, on the last page, page 12, is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes.
Okay. So you are aware of this document,
Yes.
okay? And you are aware with each and every one of the provisions contained within the document?
I get to answer this after, right, Your Honor?
Yes, you can,
Okay. Okay, yes,
write it down and maybe you
Okay.
can get back to that.
okay.
All right, I want to draw your attention on page 1, lines 27 and 28. You agree that the parents are required to consult and cooperate with each other in substantial questions regarding the kids, regarding the minor children, Bella and Lincoln Gutierrez?
Yes,
Okay? And on page 2, lines 1 through 2, you'll agree that that includes educational programs? Correct?
page 2,
Lines 1 and 2?
yes,
It also includes changes in social environment and healthcare of the children?
yes.
Okay. I'll also draw your attention to paragraph 3, specifically lines 10 through 14. Would you agree that parents are allowed to independently consult with any and all professionals regarding the children?
Page, I'm sorry.
Page 2, lines 10 through 14.
Oh, I see. Yes,
Would you also agree that there are stipulations regarding what is allowed to be discussed independently of the other parent?
I don't know what that means, Your Honor.
I'll rephrase the
Okay.
question. Would you agree, as stated in line 12, that the other parent is required to be provided prior notice of the independent consultation?
Yes,
And you also agree that the individual consultation is limited in its purpose for the sole understanding of the professional's advice, correct?
yes,
And that neither parent may share any information with the professional unless the other parent is present, as outlined in lines 15 and 16?
I don't understand what that means, Your Honor.
Okay, the witness doesn't understand the question.
Okay.
Try it again.
Would you agree that the language in lines 15 and 16 requires you to share information with the other parent of what you intend to discuss with any professional that involves the minor children, Bella and Lincoln Gutierrez?
I don't understand what this means. That's why I'm saying I don't understand. I don't understand the wording of it.
What specific words do you not understand?
That whole paragraph 3? I think he was starting
No,
on.
that neither parent may share information with the professional unless the other parent is present or is notified in writing of the information that the parent intends on sharing with the professional.
Okay.
Because he has met with teachers and not told me anything, and I don't say
Again,
anything
objection, Your
about
Honor,
it.
non-responsive.
Okay. Well, her response is she doesn't understand
Okay.
I don't,
15 lines 15 through 18
I don't understand that.
of
Cassandra?
Exhibit Q.
All right. Cassandra, prior to signing the document, labeled Exhibit Q, did you review this document with your attorney?
Yes,
And that attorney was Byron Mills.
that's correct.
And did Byron Mills answer any of the questions you have regarding this document?
Yes and no.
What questions did you specifically ask him that he did not answer?
After the document was printed, after I had signed and the document was given to me, a few things were changed in here that I did not agree to.
What
But
specific?
I couldn't go back to him because it cost more money.
Again, I'll restate my question. What specific questions did you ask Mr. Mills that he did not answer for you?
I don't understand all this language. You might understand it because you're an attorney, but it doesn't make sense to me. So you're able to meet with teachers and not tell me, but if I do the same thing, then I'm in court.
Objection, Your Honor, non-responsive.
I
asked
just
that
don't
the witness's
understand.
statements
Move
be
to
stricken.
strike.
Yes.
Sustained and granted. Okay.
Cassandra, I'll
Write
just-
that down, Cassandra, you'll get to
Okay,
talk about it
thank
later in
you.
your defense.
Thank you.
Cassandra, I want to ask you to draw your attention to page 4 of the self-same document. Paragraph 9, lines 1 through 3. After having a chance to review that, would you agree that each parent is entitled to be informed of social events involving the children?
Yes,
And would you also agree that both parents are entitled to participate in those social events?
yes,
Okay. I'll also draw your attention to paragraph 11 on page 4, lines 11 and 12. Having had a chance to review that, would you agree that the parents are entitled to telephone communication with the children?
yes.
Would
I
you
do.
also, would you also agree that that telephone communication is not limited to the court-ordered timeframe between 6:30 PM and 7 PM on Thursday evenings?
Yes, because it's a phone call, not a FaceTime.
Would you also agree that telephone communication is not limited to phone call?
No, because in here it doesn't say that.
Okay.
It
So
doesn't
it's,
say that.
so it's your belief that the children are only able to call outside the Thursday 6:30 through 7 FaceTime, that the children are only allowed to call using mediums other than FaceTime?
Just a phone call. That's what this says.
Okay. I'll move on. Can I please reference paragraph 12 of the same page, page 4, lines 17 through 19? Cassandra, after having reviewed paragraph 12, would you agree that prior to the children receiving any changes in their body, including image changes, that the parents must mutually agree to that change?
What does an image change mean?
I'm asking, do you agree that any change in their body image must be agreed mutually between the parents?
Yes,
Okay. Would you also agree that the shaving of one's body is a change in physical image?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just shaving.
Okay. I'll reference paragraph 14, same page 4, lines 23 through 26, specifically 23 and 24. Cassandra, after reviewing that, would you agree that both parties are required to communicate directly with each other regarding the needs and well-being of the children?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Would you also agree that that communication is not limited to talking parents?
We have talking parents because you and I cannot communicate.
Okay. Will you agree that it is not limited to communicating via talking parents?
It can be that way, yes.
It can be limited?
No, it can be that it isn't limited,
Okay.
but you and I have to have talking parents.
All right. Sandra, drawing your attention to page 9 of this document, Exhibit Q,
Page 9.
page 9. Under the paragraph outlined entitled FaceTime, would you agree that each parent is entitled to 30 minutes of FaceTime every Thursday between 6:30 p.m. and 7 p.m.?
Yes, I do.
And would you also agree that neither parent is allowed to interfere in the children's right to privacy during that FaceTime visit?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, I do, yeah, so.
And again, on page 12, the last page, you did in fact read this document in its entirety, correct?
Yes,
Okay. Would you also agree that you did so freely and voluntarily, as outlined in lines 16 and 17?
yes,
And would you also agree that all language contained within this document was explained in its entirety to you by your attorney, as outlined in lines 17 through 19?
not really, Your Honor. I don't understand, especially when he does things and then he references it. I don't understand it. There's a lot of language that I don't understand in this.
All right, how about this? I'll restate the question, Your Honor. Lines 17 through 21 state that Cassandra Gutierrez acknowledges that the foregoing language has been explained in its entirety to me by my counsel, that any questions I had were answered by my counsel to my satisfaction, and that I will not allege in the future that the same was not explained to me, or that I did not understand the contents of the stipulation order. Would you agree that that language is correct and read correctly from the Exhibit Q?
Yes,
And would you also agree that that is your signature underneath that statement?
yes, that is my signature.
And that was signed and dated on July 27, 2017?
Yes, it was.
And that date preceded any of the allegations claimed in Seth's alleged acts of contempt against you that we're having a hearing for this day?
Yes.
Okay. I'll draw your attention briefly to Exhibit R, stipulated decree of divorce. This is the last one on the table. Okay. I'll ask you to reference page 2 of that stipulated decree of divorce. But first off, Cassandra, do you agree that this stipulated decree of divorce is an agreement, stipulations, that contains stipulations and orders between yourself, Cassandra, and myself, Seth Gutierrez, at the time of our divorce?
Yes,
And that you read all the conditions, all the provisions, all the stipulations and orders herein and agreed to those?
no, Your Honor, we agreed that the health insurance, and the co-pays would be paid by him, but because Audrey Beeson had already done this, he said, I'll just do it, just trust me. And I did, and I didn't make him go and
Objection,
change
Your
it.
Honor.
Okay,
ask that that be stricken.
Sustained, granted.
Okay.
I think that was just a yes or no, or, other. What was your,
Did you agree to the
Yeah.
content contained within this document prior to it being filed with the courts?
Yes,
Okay. And that is in fact your signature attesting to the same on page 9.
yes.
And your attorney at the time, you were represented by
I don't have.
Bruce
no.
Anderson?
Yes,
Okay. Referencing page 2, under paragraph 4 entitled Health Insurance, lines 24 through 26. Do you agree that any and all unreimbursed medical, dental, optical, orthodontic, or other health-related expenses incurred for the benefit of the minor children are to be divided equally between the parties?
no, that is not what you and I verbally agreed to.
Let me restate the question then. Does this document, this divorce decree that you signed and agreed to, contain that self-same language?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And, turning over to page 3, the top paragraph, lines 3 through 4, does this document that you previously signed and agreed to the content therein state that any undisputed request for reimbursement should be paid within 30 days, or that party may be subject to a finding of contempt or appropriate sanctions?
Yes, that's what it says.
Okay. I also want to draw your attention to Exhibit A, that is, it's Exhibit A within Exhibit R of the stipulated decree of divorce. Page 2, it's the parenting agreement that was initially filed with this court. At the back. Referencing lines 3 through 5, would you agree, Cassandra, that both parents are entitled to have access to medical information, school records, and to consult with any and all professionals involved with the children?
Yes,
And you also agree that it states in lines 16 through 19 that the parents agree that upon receipt, information concerning the well-being of the child, let me restate, that the parents agree to jointly provide each other upon receipt information concerning the well-being of the children, including but not limited to school information, activities involving the children, and all communication from healthcare providers?
yes,
And would you also agree that, as stated in lines 20 through 21, that the parents agree to advise each other of school, athletic, and social events in which the children participate for the purpose of allowing the other parent to participate as well?
yes.
Okay. Almost there, Judge.
okay?
I ask you to turn your attention to the last exhibit, Exhibit S, entitled Order Regarding Hearing on February 21st, 2017, that was electronically filed with this court on April 19th, 2017.
This to you.
Cassandra, asking you to turn to page 7. Would you agree at the time that this order was entered by the court, your attorney was Byron Mills,
Yes,
and that he was acting on your behalf to ensure that the content of this order was in fact true and correct?
yes,
I ask you to turn, are you familiar with this document?
yes.
Can I please reference page 3 of the document, beginning on line 23? Cassandra, is it true that this court ordered that all parties are to continue to use Talking Parents to communicate on child issues, but are permitted to text or call for child emergencies or when an immediate response is required?
Yes.
Is it also true that you have failed to go ahead and continue, and to communicate on talking parents regarding all issues pertaining to the children's health and well-being?
I'm unsure how to answer this, Your Honor.
Have you communicated on talking parents with Seth regarding all issues concerning the health and well-being of the minor children, Bella and Lincoln Gutierrez?
I have tried.
Is that a yes or a no?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have complied?
I believe so.
All right, please let the record reflect that the witness stated she has responded to each and every
I'm
issue.
aware of her answer. Okay, any other
Your Honor, at
questions,
this point
counsel?
in time, I would pass the witness.
Okay, so we'll take a little 5-minute break, and then we'll get to your portion, anything you wanted to respond to, Cassandra. And then, Seth can call himself, or he'll pass, and then you can put on your defense. Okay?